Hi everyone, welcome to MarikaCreations. Today I will share with you 3 spring DIYs. So stay tuned for this. My first DIY, I will make a stone window using this sign that I purchased for €1, a little bit more than that in US dollars. So I am tearing, I am scraping, and I am sanding to get everything off this surface. So I'm going to paint a window with some beautiful spring snowdrops in it. So here I have a piece that is the right size, the round piece, to make an arch. My window will be sort of a medieval kind of stone window. And here I am shaping the window with some plaster. I'm just following the line that I sketched out. Here I am on the top with the rounded bit. So I'm smoothing it out, and then with my spatula I am making crevices to make it look like stone blocks. After I'm done with the crevices, I will take my spatula and just dab the surface to get more stone-like texture. Once I'm done, I will set it aside to dry overnight to be sure that it's really dry before I go over it with an off-white color as a base coat. Cover it twice, the whole piece. This video is part of the Hello Spring challenge hosted by Tammie at the Rustic Willow and Ellie at DIY from House to Home, and Brenda, the guest host at Rustic and Lace DIY. If you're not familiar with these ladies and their channels, jump on over right after this video and check out what they have to offer. Links to their channels and to the playlist of this challenge, you find them all in my description box. Here I am sketching out the depths of my window to get a more 3D effect. And once I'm done, I'm starting off with the opening in the window where I have the crisp blue spring skies. So I have a light blue to start with, and then I will mix it up with some white to get the more feeling of a lifelike sky, sort of. Now I'm working on the faraway clouds, just putting on some white and some grays, and taking a dry brush to blend it together a bit. And I keep on working on my clouds until I'm happy with the result. Time to cover the stone frame, and I do that with a grey color, just a base coat for now. Later on I will go in with different shadings to get it to come alive a bit more. So a grey base coat here. And then I will start with the stones in the opening, the depths of my window. I imagine that the sun is coming from the left, so these stones I'm doing right now, they are a little darker because they are in the shadow. And on the other side lighter because the sun is shining upon them. Now some black in between the stones to get a sense of more depth here as well. On to dry brushing the surface of my stones with a black acrylic and also with a white acrylic, depending on what's in the shadow and what's in the light. Some highlights on the stones, on the very end of the stones, where the sun hits the most. Here I am taking different shades of green to create moss growing from the cracks in the stones, because in the middle of these cracks I will have my snowdrops growing. I have printed out a picture online of snowdrops, so that is what I'm painting now to get an idea of how they look. So I'm taking my pencil to start with, just sketching up where I want my snowdrops to be. Then it's time to start painting, and I'm using different shades of green and white and a bit of yellow in the center of the flowers. And here it is. Can you see the little window up there above the stones? Beautiful, I think. A little closer look here. You can see my snowdrops, my spring painting with the blue skies. Tell me, what do you think? For my second DIY, I will make a wreath out of this green metal wire. I will make the wreath form, and I decided to go for an unusual form, that is the infinity sign, shape of an 8. So I'm making the shape, and then I will go over it, just twisting the wire around, and I do that 2 times. This is how it looks, and now I will cover the whole wreath form with this felt fabric, just a blanket that I bought and cut out strips from. So working my way all the way around. Once done, I will take these garland pieces and attach to my wreath form, just with the help of some jute string, like that, working my way around my wreath. Once the whole wreath is covered with this garland, I begin to attach some spring flowers on one side of the infinity loop, like you see me do here. There are 3 flowers to start with, but I will go in and put some extra off camera later on. And in the other loop, I will create a bird's nest like that out of these natural fibers. Just shape it as a nest and hot glue it into place, putting some tiny twigs around and in it and some raffia. And here I will go in with some witch hazel twigs later on throughout the whole wreath to get that more natural look. I did that off camera as well. The final touch in the bird's nest, some white feathers, and finally the eggs. And I chose to go for 5 eggs. And then a silk ribbon, a green one to tie in with the wreath to create a hanger. If you're new to my channel, hi! I am Marika, and on this channel I do lots of DIYs, thrift flips, trash to treasure, renovation of my home, some pottery, some painting, anything creative really. Please join me, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and let's be friends. And here it is, hanging in the windows on top of the doorway into my kitchen area. I think it turned out nice. It has a spring feeling to it, doesn't it? For my final DIY, I will create some spring sock gnomes. So I have these old socks and these bags filled with bird seeds that I have as a weight in the bottom of the sock, and then some polyfill on top. I just tied it together with some jute twine. And here I am with that blanket that I used in my previous DIY, this green blanket. So I'm just cutting out the size that I need, and I do it in a corner because I want that stitching on the bottom of his clothes. So I am measuring and I am folding with the help of some hot glue to get a nice finish, and then I will just attach it with some hot glue as well. Time to put on a nose, these wooden beads. Now for the beard, I'm starting with my male gnome. So I'm cutting out this faux fur, and I'm doing it from the back side, not to cut off too much of the actual fur. I'm cutting out the size that I want, and right in the center where the nose is going to be, I cut out a triangle and attach it with some hot glue like that. Beautiful. And I had a little spare piece that I will use as the mustache, but I cut it in half and shape it the way I want it and attach it with a dab of hot glue. Time for the hat of my gnome. Same here, same blanket. And I want to have the stitches on the bottom of the hat. So I'm measuring and I'm cutting out how much I need. And before I put the hat together, I will just put it around its nose with some hot glue. Just pressing there and attach it in the back. And then I will see how much I need and cut off the excess before I glue it all together. Now for the female. I have clothes on her already, and I have cut out some yarn, some white yarn that will be her hair. And so I am just putting some hot glue on her head, and I'm doing that all the way around, attaching my loops of yarn. Time for the hat. Same fabric here as well, cutting out a piece big enough and attaching it with some hot glue, the stitches here on the bottom of the hat as well, attaching it on the back of my gnome like so, cutting off the excess and glue it together. I'm done with the hat. I go ahead and trim off the hair to get rid of the loops and get the length that I want. Now a few buttons on her dress to make it even more cute. My gnomes are green. Already a sign of spring, I think, but I want to enhance that even further by attaching a little flower at the end of the hat, like so, on both of them. I have cut out a strip of this felt fabric, and I'm attaching a pipe cleaner with help of some hot glue and just fold it like you see me do here, and a final string of hot glue and close it up and cut off the excess. This will be the arms of my gnomes. I created one for each of them. And then I will cut it to size and attach it, and I do that by sticking it underneath the hat with the help of some hot glue. If you like this video and videos like this, hit that like button and the subscribe button, of course, for more inspirational videos. My aim is to post 1 or 2 videos per week, so that notification bell as well, so you are notified every time I upload a new video. As you can see here, I'm just pulling through some jute twine around the hat through the stitches as an extra rustic touch. So here they are, my cute gnome couple holding apple blossom branches in their arms. Tell me, what do you think of my creations today? Did you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. I love to read your comments. That's the highlight of today. Sure is. Now it's time to head on over to my description box and hit that playlist link for this challenge to get loads of spring inspiration. Thank you so very much for watching. See you soon again in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.